Hey, what is going on everybody, and welcome to Fantasia. For today, we're going to be jumping into another session of Epic 7 out today. Got some more backseat battling for you guys. Lately, I've been struggling a little bit in climbing ladder myself, so I thought, why not take a short break and just jump into some Legend and Emperor matches, as we see here, to see what they're cooking up, how they are drafting, and maybe I can find a way to incorporate some of their ideas into my own drafts here, right? Now, you guys have been giving me a lot of feedback on these videos, and really do appreciate it. We posted our first one about a week ago on the channel, like a revamp of the Backseat battling series. Now that we have the spectator mode here, and you guys were basically on the side of, hey, love the series, it's kind of nice, do prefer watching you play RTA a bit more though, that's what we're here for, and I hear you guys. But you guys also did mention that it's okay to see this series pop up from time to time, and while I do want to try to make it more of a mainstay thing on the channel, because I do think it's quite educational, not just for you guys, but for me as well, I do think it's a really great learning opportunity, right, to see these higher level plays and maybe find some cool little techs. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna be jumping into this here and seeing what we got. We have a Palladia Legend player on the left, I think rank 13, versus an Emperor player on the right, trying to claim some points from this top player here. We'll see what happens. Now, left side Legend player here has got quite a defensive team. Got Estelle, Bassarunga, all that good stuff. Even a Tori to boot as DPS with a Nurse Yoha as support. And on the right side we have, well, just a lot of damage, yeah? ML Politis gonna be opening up. We have Freerin and Arby, along with a Swift Flag Bearer Sigrid. Sigrid, traditionally not great into Nurse Yoha, but with Emma Politis pushing Yoha back with, yeah, look at that. The combat readiness of everybody is way behind the Tori. All the knights are at the very end now. Freeland gonna come in with the skill 3. Got a lot of mitigation from the Estelle, which is good. She's keeping the entire team alive. Estelle single-handedly made Bassarunga just so much stronger because of the amount of bulk that she adds. Which is great. You can see here this Bassarunga really isn't dying here, despite taking a Freerin skill 3 and a little dual attack there, right? Freerin gets a second turn, and now that we're caught up with the action, let's see what she decides to do. There's a skill onto Bassarunga, and because Freerin does so much damage, causing the Estelle to keep countering, keep healing, and to keep taking souls away. Arby comes in with a skill 3. That's a lot of damage, but Estelle's still hanging on somehow. Don't really know how. This is kind of wild. I need to see how much bulk these units have, but Tori coming in with a little soul burn of her own, seeing how much damage she can do, taking out the Swift Flag Bearer Sigrid. Yeah, I too would have done that, because look, the Nurse Yoha is not able to do anything, right, in terms of cleansing here. So RB coming in, finally taking down the Bassarunga and the Estelle, the damage share being a little bit too much for the Estelle to handle. Here it comes though, Nurse Yoha having that revive, that superhumanization to turn the tide of battle, and we see Estelle coming back, 68,000 HP. That means normally she's sitting here at 34,000 health, right? That is pretty strong. Estelle, though, going for the skill 1, just opting not to use the skill 3 or anything here, right? Has the ability to counter and maybe put a barrier up for the team, which would be very welcome. RB, gosh, on a sliver of health, just feels bad. He could Tori into the Freerin, and the Cascade could finish her off. Depends on how much he values getting rid of this RB right now. He is going to go into the Freerin. There we go. Just as predicted. Boom, Cascade finishing off the Freerin there, and RB, unfortunately, full focus gets another skill 3. This time, though, he has the Descending Blade. I'm surprised that the Legend player has survived this long here. That Estelle is absolutely crazy right now. Pairing really well with the Tori too for these essentially guaranteed counters if RB keeps skill 3ing right into the Tori here. He is going to keep ripping it because, I mean, even if you skill 1, it's going to hit the Tori anyway. So might as well get as much damage as you can into the Estelle. But because Tori doesn't take that much damage, look at that. Estelle hardly taking damage herself, countering for the win, taking down our Emperor Challenger on the right. We got another one on our hands here, guys. Rank 152 versus rank 12. The challenger of the Emperor player on the left side from the Japan server going up against the Palladia player on the right. Legend defending their rank here. And the Emperor player themselves getting quite close to Legend too. So we'll see how this plays out. On the left we see Salome, Midnight God Lilius, and Zio. A really aggressive team. Salome can copy the Midnight God Lilius, right? Go for a second nuke onto the right player's side here. And we have Genesis Ra, Swift Flagbearer Sigrid, Monarch of the Sword of Syria, and Rinok. A single counter from Monarch of the Sword of Syria is very scary. Could potentially just one-shot your Midnight God Lilius. But we do see a counter pick in the form of Mort come out, and a really strong DPS to couple with the Zio, who's currently ban protected in the form of MLTU. So that's going to be really fascinating to see. Bunny Dom is picked up as a last pick here, kind of like a defensive measure, right, against the Salome, kind of preventing her from going for a skill 2 into a skill 3. Otherwise, though, MLTU will also take an extra turn, so that is something to keep in mind. The skill 3 gives him an extra turn before he goes through a skill 1, so it is a pretty good way to defend yourself against incoming damage, right? We'll see, though. The Swift Flagbearer Sigrid is banned along with the Great Mortellix. Definitely want your Monarch of the Sword of Syria to be live, and if Genesis Raz is placed in the front, he can counter with the Assyria. Assyria gives that frontline unit a little bit of a combat readiness push, and Genesis Raz himself has some combat readiness from his skill 1, so we could see him maybe cut here. I don't know. From the speed on the left side, the combat readiness bar, I don't think he's going to cut here. However, really comes down to this Bunny Dom play, right? If there's a counter here, and if there's an extra turn somewhere from this Rinok, Bunny Dom could come in clutch, but I doubt that the opponent is gonna let this go. Yeah, see, he's just gonna MLTU skill 1 here, taking down the Monarch of the Sword of Syria. Whoa! Are we gonna see our Emperor player take down the Legend title defender right now? Oh, that dual attack is nasty, taking down the Rinok. Guys, this really aggressive team. Skill 3 coming out, going into the Genesis Raz, and this will probably get rid of him. Yeah, he does revive, but look at that. The opponent's team is going to lap him, and Zio. Guys, the Zio's coming in, doing so much damage to the Bunny Dom. I can't believe it. For such a strong player in the last match, we're seeing them getting absolutely cleaved. However, it's not over yet, guys. It's not over yet. It's not done until it's done. Genesis Ra's gonna skill 3 into the Salome, seal, collapse, gonna get an extra turn, has the S3 ready here. Keep in mind, Midnight God Lilius will always survive with that damage limit buff, but perhaps, this might be enough to get rid of everybody else. We do see so much damage, but it's not enough. This MLTU somehow survives and counters for the cleanup and the win. Okay, guys, we got another one on our hands here. Shy Lily, an Epic 7 World Championship 2022 participant here. This is going to be quite an interesting one from the Europe server. Look at that amazing frame going up against an Emperor player on the right. I saw this and I couldn't pass it up. Jumped right into spectate, and yeah, maybe we can learn quite a bit here. So Salome is getting picked up along with Arbiter Vildred, already kind of hinting toward a more aggressive playstyle. A lot of people don't build bulky RBs, they build full damage Arbiter Vildreds, especially if you're going to copy them with Salome. It could work out really, really well. Lady of the Scales gonna get picked up on the right. Swift Flagbearer Sigrid, still a really common second pick. I think we're seeing kind of a pattern here, right? Swift Flagbearer Sigrid as a second pick is really, really challenging for the opponent to kind of deal with. We see some people kind of trying to play around her. We see some people trying to ban her, right, in post. We also have a Festive Ida coming out. That's a little weird because if Festive Ida misses her attack, that would do the fixed damage. She does not apply that fixed damage. So into Arbiter Vildred, find it a little bit questionable. However, if you do get lucky, that fixed damage can come in handy quite a bit. But you can also potentially be setting up to prevent your opponent from going back to that kind of tank down playstyle. The Festive Ida is a mage. She can carry book. She can soul burn herself to ignore resistance and silence and defense break your entire team, which could be absolutely devastating, right? So we're gonna see how Shy Lily responds here with a ban protection. Really want to see what this does. Because how do you fight against Lady of the Scales and all this stuff, yeah? We're gonna see a Rinnock come through. Gonna be band protected. Veronica coming in, a little speed imprint for the Rinnock to maybe contest this this Swift Flagbearer Sigurd. You never really know how fast these players are, right? But the Veronica also really good against countering the immortality from Lady of the Scales. We're not really seeing too many people try to shoehorn Ivana into these matches, which I do find interesting but understandable. Freerin getting picked up as a DPS unit. Ooh. That's a little bit scary because Freerin with Lady of the Scales is super difficult to deal with. Not only does Freerin just mitigate damage altogether, but if she is vulnerable to damage, Lady of the Scales can potentially save her from a hit or two with all that 70% damage share goodness, yeah? We have a last pick hovering over Setsuka, locking her in, adding a little bit of RNG, which is always incredibly annoying for any player who's trying to play aggressively, right? So, Shepherd of the Dark Dien, a fantastic last pick. I think she's probably guaranteed to be the ban here because she single-handedly will destroy Freerin and Setsuka, as well as shut down the Festive Ida, right? If you seal her, she doesn't cleanse herself with her passive, so this could be incredibly good. So I think she's gonna get banned, though there's no way she's making it through. Oh, I stand corrected. But maybe there's something that I don't see here, right? There's the Lady of the Scales, the Veronica ban. I think the Emperor player lost the draft here because he banned the Veronica hoping that Lady of the Scales would make it through. Shy Lily knowing that, hey, Lady of the Scales, kind of a big issue here, big deal. If I ban that, it might be over. And there you go, ban the Veronica, which is counter to Lady of the Scales. With Lady of the Scales gone, Veronica being banned, that's actually super, super good for Shy Lily. Also, keep in mind, taking Veronica was huge because that took away a counter pick to the Shepherd of the Dark Dien. That was closing out the draft there. All right, skill 2 onto the Freerin, taking away 20% of her health. That's actually really important because if this Rinnock is on Pursuit set and you get that extra 20% fixed damage, the combination of stealing your opponent's stats and nuking them is probably enough to take her out in one go, but we see not quite. Alright, Shepherd of the Dark Dien, though, skill 3 seals the Freerin, able to come in. Now you're able to deal damage. Now we're talking. Setsuka is sealed as well, getting crit there. She's still countering, though, somehow. Lethal Whispers also proccing, very nice. Freerin giving her that nice starting fighting spirit. She's looking pretty healthy, but can she do this? Festive Ida, not able to really do much. Soul Burns the skill 3, actually manages to hit the Arbiter Vildred somehow, but silences, defense breaks, strip the Shepherd of the Dark Dien. Rinnock is out of stealth now. Salome gets a turn. What is she gonna do? Could easily copy Rinnock and potentially just skill 3 into the Setsuka to try to nuke here. I think that's probably the way to go, right? And I see that's what they're doing. Gonna go skill 3 into the Setsuka. Doesn't matter if you hit or not, you still get that fixed damage. You'll probably finish off the Festive Ida. But does this finish off the Setsuka? There's a counter, no Lethal Whispers. She's still alive, but this, the Shepherd of the Dark Dien probably just gonna close things out here with a single skill 1. It's going to crit, it's gonna land, and our legend player winning in draft, still taking it away so cleanly. And let's dive into another one, guys. Speaking of players that we'd love to see, Vicchun is in this match here from Palladia, and currently in Emperor, fighting his way up here against a legend player. It's an uphill battle, but we know Vic, he is so talented, so skilled at the game. Of course, these legend players as well. That guy on the right side actually finishing legend before, you can tell by his beautiful frame, so intricate right there. And Perfumer Biblis gonna get snatched up as a first pick. Note the pre-bans too. Noto's gone, Harsetti gone for Vicchun. He is known for playing a bit more aggressively speedy at times, right? And we do see, but nope, he's gonna be playing some tank down here. We do see Lady of the Scales and Shepherd of the Dark Dien banned for the opponent too, right? Perfumer Biblis, not a great unit to try to play super aggressive into, so it makes sense to go for this Bossarunka Salome play. A really good combo, by the way. Taking the Salome so he was protected behind the Bossarunka, and yeah, you get to essentially still copy everybody your opponent has. If your opponent takes Bossarunka, Salome cannot copy anyone behind Bossarunka because she is the only target that's available And so that's something to keep in mind. Now, Perfume Bibulus going to be paired up with the Estelle. We're under the Warfare rule of resistance right now. Freerin getting band protected on the right side. In response, interesting to see a Spirit Eye Celine, but makes sense once you see the Ruel too. Double up on revivers, right? Salome works really well with Spirit Eye Celine, also with Ruel, and it takes away the Ruel pick from the Freerin player. I think I need to try to incorporate a bit more of that type of draft into my own gameplay here, but we see a Setsuga kind of getting picked up on the right side along with the Bellion, just kind of throwing some RNG into the loop. Swift Flagbearer Sigurd, the only speedy contester on the left from Vic, but it's going to get banned out because everyone on the right side a little bit too slow to deal with a control unit of that caliber. And now we're going to jump in and see who opens up here. It is going to be Salome, outspeeding even the Spirit Eye Celine, which kind of makes sense. Normally you see Salome is hovering around 290-ish speed, and most Spirit Eye Celines are hovering around 270, 280 speed, right? Because they got to focus on some damage. Salome opting not to go for a skill 2, just going for a simple skill 3 onto the Estelle. Spirit Eye Celine also gets to go here. Could technically soul burn for free on the first hit here. Keep in mind, can't kill. Perfume Bibulus is definitely going to be healing up, but could prove to be quite useful in bursting down a little bit of health from this Estelle. Ends up missing though. That is huge value that's lost there. Immediately without hesitation goes for the skill 3. Needs to make sure that Spirit Eye Celine stays alive here, right? Cannot afford for her to go down just yet. Skill 3 probably coming out from the Perfume Bibulus to maybe knock out some HP from the Salome and the Spirit Eye Celine, but opting to hold it. And now it's Ruel's turn. This is going to be a longer grind game, right? So I guess it makes sense to hold on to your skills, maybe wait for everyone to lose immunity, especially because Ruel and Bossamuka aren't necessarily known to be resistance stackers here. Salome is going to get the damage limit buff placed on her. Spirit Eye Celine already naturally has that in her kit. So now Freerin's going to come in with a skill 3. See how much damage is dealt. That's quite a bit. But Crown of Glory, guys, on that boss of Runka, allowing her to strip some souls from the opponent. That is incredible. Spirit Eye Celine also healing back up slightly above half HP, which makes her safe from getting one shot now with the counter into Freerin. Skill 3 coming out. Everyone's focusing the Estelle. You pretty much have to do this just to stop the Estelle from countering. You're gonna hope that the Estelle is not on a counter set here, but yeah, double miss. Wow. Okay, Bossamuka missed, proccing the Setsuga counter. Spirit Eye Celine is gonna miss, and now look at this. Spirit Eye Celine is gonna go down to the Freerin. This is such bad value right now. Oh my goodness. All right, skill 1 onto the Bossamuka. Extra attack coming in. Spirit Eye Celine is gonna go down. There you go. Ruel still hanging on there, but halfway down the combat readiness meter, not looking too good. Setsuka, by the way, one hit, 32 KHP Setsuka, guys. I think you just need a skill 1, and that extra attack is going to do so much damage. Look at this 32 KHP Setsuka coming in with that extra attack. Boom. Right, Ruel goes down, Bossamuka goes down, Salome just living because of the sheer power of the damage limit buff here, and Ruel being able to now skill 3. Keep in mind, Salome hasn't copied anyone yet. Could technically copy the Ruel, and then also bring back that boss of Runka, which could be really, really useful. Giving Salome another turn with that skill nullifier and the invincibility. Spirit Eye Celine coming back with invincibility herself. Let's see if Vic can do this here. Never mind! I'm a bit surprised at not copying the Ruel. I'm kind of curious as to why he decided to copy the Perfumer Bibulus in this situation. The Setsuga herself is not vulnerable to getting KO'd. 2 units have immunity. The only unit that is available to get provoked and venomed right now would have been the Perfume Bibulus herself, but yeah, that's a little interesting. It's also, the timer has stopped, so I don't know what that means in terms of spectate mode here, but here we go. Skill 3 from the Vic Chun on the left. We see some provoke, some venoms, okay, and Salome gonna go down. Spirit Eye Celine getting that turn reduction. Maybe this is all part of the plan. Maybe he's gonna use Spirit Eye Celine here to... Oh, finally, she doesn't miss. There is a counterattack from the Estelle, though, healing back a lot of that damage that was dealt. Gonna go for another skill 1. Double counter from the Estelle and the Setsuka. Sometimes, guys, you just can't win because of RNG. Let's jump into another very close match here against two Emperor players, rank 126 versus rank 103. Guys, this is the battle to see who can climb up into the legend rank. On the right side, just one match away. I'm pretty sure if they win this, they'll reach that legend rank here, and kind of excited to see someone get promoted here, right? On the left side, though, we have a Japanese player there with Lady of the Scales, Estelle, and Ivana, ban protected. The Japan server always amazes me with the type of units that they end up building. Ivana is not a unit that I expected to see here, but very glad that I joined this match to see her in action. Salome gonna get picked up along with Spirit Eye Celine. Let's see what the ban protection is gonna be in this case. Zio might be there to just kind of cover bases as a 100% guaranteed opener, regardless of what happens here. Could be pretty decent, right? Especially with Salome following up, most likely copying Spirit Eye Celine for a good amount of damage. I don't know if Ivana's going to be that fast. If she is, though, could potentially be going first here, maybe even above the Salome. Witch of the Mirror, Tenebria, and Bellion getting picked up, so the Korean player on the right kind of giving up that speed race. Going like, you know what? You can maybe have it with Ivana. You can maybe open with her. In fact, we'll let you have her. We're just going to end up countering with injury in the form of Monarch of the Sword of Syria against your team. Now, the problem with the draft on the left side right now is the first 3 units that were picked, there was no DPS. Not a single one, which means that they have to pick 2 of them here. Otherwise, they're going to have 0 DPS against this Assyria, and it's not going to be very pretty. Emma Bologna is going to get picked up, which is nice, I would say. Mort would have also been a pretty decent option there, I'd say, because Spirit Eye Celine, Monarch of the Sword of Syria, and Bellion all kind of rely on counters to some degree on most builds. Bologna's going to get banned out, and Arby was picked up, but Arby not too great against Spirit Eye Celine, and we do see Spirit Eye Celine making it through because the Swift Flag Bearer Sigret was banned. You definitely don't want to get feared on Arby. That doesn't really allow him to counter, especially seeing that he's on double-edged crescent, right? So, Salome gonna skill 2, copy of the Spirit Eye Celine, very typical play here, and now probably on Summer Photogenic, let's see here, she is ignoring damage share, going straight for the Ivana, skill no getting broken by the Estelle, and yeah, that soul burn for the extra turn, that free extra turn here, allowing the Salome to go for a dual attack. Estelle does get to counter, does put up a giant barrier onto the Ivana. This is huge, because Spirit Eye Celine doesn't get to take a turn just yet. And because she doesn't take a turn, there is a chance for the opponent to now come back. Skill 3 from the Lady of the Scales, pushing up the Estelle and the Arby. Is Estelle going to go into the Spirit Eye Celine? Estelle does go for the Spirit Eye Celine, takes her out. That looks to be some fixed damage, which means that is some pretty sick text with that artifact there. Arby coming in with the skill 3. Down goes the Monarch of the Sword Assyria. Ivana also coming in with her skill 3, pushing up the entire team. And that is going to be it. Unfortunately, no promotions there, and our Korean player is now one step even further from achieving legend. We got another legend match on our hands, guys. Rank 28 versus rank 95. We have a Frieren Enjoyer on the right side. Starting off with Perfume or Bibulus, which makes sense. If you want to pick Frieren, you ban Protect the Bellion, you get the Perfume or Bibulus on your side, and now Frieren is going to get picked up. Not ban protected though, which I do find to be quite interesting. Ooh, hovering over Ruel for ban protection might make it so that the Frieren isn't the only DPS drafted. But shifting on over to Festive Ida to lock in a very solid play against the Estelle and the Boss Arunca, setting up for silences so that they lose their first turn and for defense breaks, which is so valuable, right? For whatever DPS may follow up here. Spirit Eye Celine gonna be the unit of choice, kind of weak into the Festive Ida's whole fixed damage thing that she has going on if she's not in stealth, but we'll see if they can take care of that, maybe by I don't know, evading in some way. We do have Shepherd of the Dark DN getting picked up here. She is going to be pretty useful against the Freerin. If you get to seal the Festive Ida, it also prevents her passive from going off, and sealing the Perfume Bibulus prevents her from stacking that lingering fragrance onto the team too. Ivana getting picked up against the Spirit Eye Selene. Very good immortality counter, it seems. Let's see if Ivana will actually get to proc her passive here in this fight. I haven't really seen it work yet, but I am very excited to potentially see it in this situation. Silverblade Araminta wouldn't be a bad pick given that the team on the left is relatively slow, right? Festive Ida is a pretty speedy opener that you can build pretty fast, and you know, she could just work really well here. A lot of debuffers on the right side, a lot of control units, and we see Designer Lilibet getting picked up. That was a quick ban protection there. I think the Designer Lilibet will probably get banned out, but keep in mind, Shepherd of the Dark DN with a free Soulburn for Spirit Eye Selene might spell a lot of trouble for the Freerin on the right side. What is Mango going to ban here? We see the Designer Lilibet and the Silverblade Araminta. So there you guys have it. No more cleansing, but at the same time, at least no more debuffs too. So going into this match here, I would assume that the player on the left is going to be on the receiving end of all the damage here. Yep, Festive Ida is going to be going first. 40 soul burning immediately out of the gate. Going to go for some buff strips. We have defense break, we have silence. And while Diane does cleanse herself, Ivana coming out here and just dispelling that, saying, you know what, it's okay, we'll just push up the entire team while getting 50% damage reduction, guys. That is absolutely crazy. Freerin and, well, actually the entire team, Ivana included, all have immunity, preventing the DN from sealing them. That is gonna spell some big trouble here. So here comes the skill 3. Festive Ida is knocked out of stealth. That is important to keep in mind. Damage was cut by half, which is why the team is able to stay so healthy. And there you go, that skill 3 coming out. Anything but soft hitting, and we're seeing everyone except Spirit Eye Selene just barely below that half health. Bibble is gonna come in though. This might spell the end of Estelle. There's so much damage share. Boom! And Holy Sacrifice, bringing her back alive. Unfortunately, Spirit Eye Selene, no buff, no enhanced attack. Boss Aruka coming in because she's provoked, and just going for a little bit of a poke on that skill 1. Look at Freerin though, coming in so hard with all that damage. Just cannot believe it. That follow-up attack, that extra attack here, taking down the DN. Estelle still somehow hanging in there. And Spirit Eye Selene definitely going to be struggling. She goes down to a single skill 1. And guys, that is going to be it. Mango taking it from the 2 legend players. And that is going to be it for us spectating these matches. So thank you all so much for watching, guys. I really do appreciate it. And I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.